All right, let's jump into another deep dive. Today we're looking at cybersecurity,
Oh, yeah.
specifically how ransomware attackers are getting faster
Mm-hmm.
and more sophisticated.
Definitely a hot topic.
Yeah, we found this article. It details a ransomware attack
Okay.
that just unfolded at lightning speed.
Really?
It's kind of crazy just how fast these digital pirates are getting.
I mean, it is fascinating to see how it's all evolving.
Yeah, it seems like it's not just these brute force attacks anymore.
No, not at all.
They're getting so patient and calculated.
That's right. And, they're
They're using our own systems against us.
Yeah, exactly.
So in this article, they were able to infiltrate a company's entire network
Oh, wow.
in just 48 minutes.
That's barely enough time to, get lunch.
I know, 48 minutes. I mean, that's crazy fast.
It's scary.
Yeah, and it's really alarming how fast it's all happening.
Well, this kind of speed and precision,
Yeah.
to pull this off, you really need to understand the systems, security protocols. You even have to understand human psychology.
So how did they actually pull this off in under an hour?
Well, they started with a pretty classic diversion tactic.
Okay.
They flooded employee inboxes with spam emails.
Oh, so just to distract them.
Yeah, you can think of it like a smokescreen.
Okay, so that wasn't the main attack.
Right.
That was just a decoy.
Exactly.
So what was the real attack?
Well, while everyone was busy trying to deal with all the spam,
Right.
the attackers actually contacted the employees themselves
Okay.
through Microsoft Teams,
Oh, wow.
posing as IT help desk workers.
So they're pretending to help with the spam that they create.
Exactly. Very clever.
Oh, wow.
Appearing helpful and concerned.
Yeah, because then you don't likely to trust them.
Exactly. People want to get that spam out of their inbox.
Of course.
So they're willing to trust someone who seems like they're there to help.
So how did they actually get in, though?
Well, they tricked employees into opening an application called Quick Assist.
And what is that?
It's actually built into Windows
Oh, okay.
for remote support.
Oh, I see.
But in this case, it basically became the attacker's golden ticket.
So it's a legitimate tool,
Yeah.
but in the wrong hands, it's like giving them the keys to the kingdom.
Exactly.
And they did all of this in under an hour?
I know. It's incredible. So once they had access through Quick Assist, it was all over. They wasted no time.
Wow.
Within minutes, they were connecting to their command and control server.
So they basically set up shop inside the company's network?
Exactly.
It's like a spy movie, but in the digital world.
I know. It's pretty wild, but it gets even more interesting.
Oh, no.
Because they used a technique called DLL sideloading.
DLL sideloading. What is that?
It's basically like sneaking a weapon past security
Okay.
by hiding it inside a harmless-looking package.
So like disguising malicious code
Exactly.
within legitimate software.
Got it. And this let them bypass a lot of those security checks.
Oh, so that's how they got in.
Yep. It gave them deeper access to the system.
Wow.
From there, they were able to exploit a few vulnerabilities.
Okay.
And they eventually took control of a privileged service account.
So they basically had full control at that point.
Pretty much.
Oh, wow. So what did they do next?
Well, that's a story for part 2.
All right. Well, we'll be back soon with part 2 of this deep dive. Don't go anywhere. So they basically had the keys to the kingdom at that point.
Right. Yeah.
What'd they do next?
Well, they didn't waste any time.
Oh.
In just 7 minutes.
7 minutes?
Yeah, they uploaded some malicious files.
Okay.
And used PowerShell.
PowerShell, isn't that already on Windows?
Yeah, it's a really powerful scripting tool.
Oh, so they didn't even have to upload it.
Exactly.
And then what?
Well, they used that to launch the ransomware.
Oh, wow. So they're using the system's own tools against it.
Yeah, it's called living off the land.
Living off the land.
It's where attackers use tools that are already there
Right.
to avoid detection.
I see. So it's like a burglar using tools they find in your garage to break into your house.
Exactly, yeah.
That's scary how efficient that is.
I know, right? And you can tell these guys did their homework.
Yeah, the article mentioned something about an initial access broker.
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
Well, it's kind of a sign of how specialized cybercrime is getting.
Okay.
Initial access brokers are basically hackers who just break into systems and then they sell that access to other criminals.
So it's like a black market for compromised accounts.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's disturbing.
It is, and that access can go to anyone,
Like who?
Ransomware groups, state-sponsored actors, anyone who wants to exploit those weaknesses.
So this is fueling a lot of these attacks we're seeing.
Definitely.
This is like something out of a movie.
It is, but it's real life.
And it happened so fast.
Way too fast. Organizations really need to be prepared for this.
Well, what can they do? I mean, it feels like it's inevitable.
You're right. It's not a matter of if, but when.
Okay, so...
And they need to move beyond just reacting to these attacks.
Yeah.
They need to be more proactive.
What does that even look like?
Well, first of all, they need to limit access to these remote access tools.
Like Quick Assist.
Yeah, exactly. If they're not absolutely essential, just disable them or uninstall them.
Okay, so close those digital backdoors.
Right, and disable any unused accounts.
Why unused accounts?
Well, they're easy targets. People forget about them.
Right, yeah, okay, what else?
Strong verification procedures are key,
Okay.
especially for IT support, you know?
Like if someone calls you saying they're from IT.
Exactly. No matter how convincing they sound,
Right.
always double check. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Okay, so be vigilant, be skeptical.
Exactly.
Even when someone's offering to help.
Right.
You mentioned ransomware as a service earlier.
Yeah, Ras.
How does that play into all of this?
Well, it's kind of a game changer.
How so?
It's basically like a fast food franchise for cybercrime.
What do you mean?
Anyone can pay a fee
Okay.
and get access to these ransomware tools and services.
Wow.
So it's making cybercrime more accessible.
To people who aren't as skilled.
Exactly.
And that makes it more dangerous.
Much more. The threat landscape is just getting more complex.
I see.
And, this attack shows how Ross lets them specialize.
Specialize.
Yeah, some groups focus on phishing, some on social engineering.
Okay.
Others exploit vulnerabilities.
So they have like different roles.
Exactly.
So what can we do about this?
Well, we need to fight fire with fire.
Okay.
Use AI and machine learning.
To do what?
Automate threat detection and response.
So it's like having a digital security guard.
Yeah, that never sleeps.
I like it.
But it's not a silver bullet. We also need to adopt a zero trust model.
What do it?
It basically means assuming everyone's a threat.
What, even if they're already inside the network?
Especially then.
Okay, so like verify everything.
Exactly. Strong authentication,
Okay.
segmenting networks, constant monitoring.
It sounds like we're playing catch up.
It's a constant arms race.
Okay.
But we're resilient.
I hope so.
We're constantly developing new tools and techniques.
That's good.
It's a challenge, but we're up to it.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of scary how quickly these attacks are happening.
It is, and it really shows how vulnerable we are.
But it sounds like we're not powerless.
Right, we have tools to fight back.
And strategies.
Definitely.
I mean, it's just wild that they were able to do all of that.
I know, right?
From the span to the ransomware in like less than an hour.
Less time than it takes to watch a movie. It's crazy.
Yeah, it really shows how fast things are changing.
The threat landscape is evolving so quickly.
So we can't just sit back and wait for something to happen.
We can't be complacent, that's for sure.
We need to be more proactive. But how?
Well, that's where this idea of zero trust comes in.
Zero trust, what's that?
It's basically a security framework
Okay.
that assumes that no one and no device can be trusted.
Automatically.
Right, by default.
So even if they're already inside the network,
Yeah,
there's still a potential threat.
exactly.
So it's like you're always verifying every time.
Every single access request, yeah.
I see. So what does that actually look like?
Well, you need multi-factor authentication.
Okay.
You got to segment your network to limit damage
Right.
and constantly monitor for anything suspicious.
So it's like a much more layered approach.
It has to be.
This is all, it's a lot to take in.
It is.
It makes you realize just how vulnerable we are.
Yeah, in this digital age, it's tough.
But at least it sounds like we could do something about it.
Oh, absolutely. We have tools, we have strategies.
What kind of tools are we talking about?
Well, we're seeing huge advancements in AI and machine learning.
Oh, yeah.
These have the potential to really change how we respond to threats.
So they can like learn and adapt as the attackers change their tactics.
Exactly.
That's pretty amazing.
It is, but it's not just about the technology.
What else is there?
We need to have a culture of security awareness.
What do you mean?
Well, everyone in the organization needs to be aware of the threats.
Oh, so it's not just the IT department's problem.
Right. It's a human problem, too.
I see. So education is really important.
Absolutely. Training, awareness.
We all have to do our part.
Exactly. We can't just rely on technology to save us.
Well, this has been an incredible deep dive.
Yeah, I agree.
It's pretty alarming how sophisticated these ransomware attacks are getting.
Yeah, the speed, the complexity, it's a lot.
But we've also learned about some of the strategies that we can use to protect ourselves.
That's right. We're not powerless.
So for our listeners out there, if there's one thing to remember,
It's that cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility.
well said.
It's not just an IT issue. It affects all of us.
It's a business issue. It's a human issue.
Exactly.
So thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
It was my pleasure.
We'll be back soon with another episode, but until then, stay vigilant out there.
And stay safe.
Yeah, the digital world can be a dangerous place.